reason why Sinners resonated with me so much is because it's something that you see every day, and no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how talented you are, sometimes that's not enough to get you places that you need to be. And that's why Sinners, like, I was crying right after, because I feel like anyone in the industry could really resonate with it.
I know what y'all picked about the polls, but when the queen speaks, and that's all I'm gonna say, and that's all that matters to me.
Khloe Bailey just flipped the entire music industry upside down, and this time she's not holding anything back. After years of silence and speculation, Khloe is finally speaking out, and the picture she's painting of Beyonce's empire is not what anyone expected. According to multiple insider reports, Khloe has been trapped in an exploitative contract under Beyonce's label, and y'all, this deal is supposedly so bad that she's allegedly earning next to nothing compared to the image the public sees. But what really has fans shook is what Khloe hinted about why her career never really blew up like everyone predicted. Word in the streets is that it has nothing to do with her talent or timing and everything to do with her refusing to sell her soul. Now here's where it gets real spicy, because while Khloe allegedly refused to play ball, her sister Halle seems to have gone in a completely different direction. Insiders claim Halle's rise hasn't been organic at all, but that she's been playing by the unspoken rules that Khloe refused to follow. And allegedly one of those supposed rules was her relationship with DDG. Rumor has it that the entire romance was staged as a PR strategy, a move designed to boost visibility and reshape Halle's image. Looks like Khloe is finally done keeping silent, because the tea she's spilling will have y'all shook. So let's get into it. So if we're gonna be honest, it's only a matter of time before Khloe spoke out, because she has been treated very unfairly when it comes to her career. Since being signed to Beyonce, she definitely opened up a lot of doors for her, because y'all know that Beyonce has the pull in the industry. But according to what we know now, that probably didn't do her a lot of good, because the contract she and Halle signed with Beyonce is worse than you can imagine. Before we even get to the shady part about the secret contracts that came later, we need to talk about the thing first, that initial contract, because now fans are calling Beyonce out for being exploitative. See, when she first signed to Khloe and Halle, the contract was only worth about $1 million. Now before y'all start saying that's a whole lot of money, the $1 million was for 6 albums, which comes down to roughly $166,000 per album. And when you split that 2 ways, then it only comes down to $83,000 per person, which isn't a lot of money for a place like Hollywood. For someone who claims to care about promoting black women in music, Beyonce sure didn't do a good job showing up when it came to Khloe and Halle. But if you thought that was bad, it got worse, because on top of that terrible contract, there are reports that she deliberately held their careers back. But to be fair, we don't know for sure if Beyonce really went out of her way to hold them back, or if she's just busy doing her own career that she really has no time for the girls. But what's clear is that Parkwood isn't doing its job to promote them. However, a lot of people think that Beyonce and Parkwood are doing this on purpose, because Khloe and Halle are not the first to be treated this way. Now that Khloe's career seems to be slowing down, fans are starting to wonder if she's being quietly pushed to the side like the other Parkwood artists, including Sophie Beam and Ingrid Burley. Sophie came in with a whole lot of buzz, but before she could really take off, Parkwood told her she wasn't ready. They kept her tied up in a 2-year developmental deal, and then by the end, they dropped her without even letting her release anything. Then there's Ingrid, who actually finished an entire album with Parkwood but never let it see the light of day. They held it until her contract ran out, and the project just disappeared. So now people are watching Khloe's situation very closely, wondering if the same thing is happening to her because she refused to play along with the system. When you really take a step back and look at Parkwood as a whole, only 2 acts have actually flourished under the label: Beyonce and the Carters. And since the Carters are literally just Beyonce and Jay-Z, that basically means that only artist Beyonce has ever truly elevated is herself. And that's why so many fans are starting to feel like something isn't adding up with Khloe's situation, because for a while now, people online have been whispering that Beyonce might not be helping her at all. Like, at all. And some even think that she's quietly sabotaging her career. And allegedly, this is all because Khloe refused to sign another contract that would have led her to selling her soul for the industry. Now, fans have been suspecting this for a minute now because, well, Beyonce hasn't exactly been subtle about it. Take this for example, right before Khloe dropped her debut album, she went on Twitter and asked fans to vote on which single she should release, Surprise or For the Night. And the results show that her fans wanted For the Night. But when Khloe did a total 180 and dropped "surprise" instead, that made fans mad. And in this live session that I'm about to show you, Khloe revealed that Beyonce forced her to drop "surprise," even though it wasn't what her fans wanted.
I know what y'all picked about the polls, but when the queen speaks, and that's all I'm gonna say, and that's all that matters to me.
Now at this point, a lot of fans are convinced that Beyonce's been stringing Khloe along for a while, all because Khloe refused to play the game or sell her soul. And that's what people are saying online. And now that fans are connecting the dots, it's starting to make the whole situation look even more suspicious. And now it seems like Khloe herself is sick and tired of being sidelined, because she went live to spill all the tea. Khloe talked about how dark Hollywood can be and said it's really hard to make it unless you're willing to compromise yourself. She didn't name anybody in particular, but it was clear from the way she talked that she was making a point to talk about certain people in the industry. She also said that she related to a lot of the characters Sammy from the movie Sinners, who struggles with balancing talent, faith, and pressure to fit in. And Khloe admitted that the story felt very personal to her, and fans quickly saw it as a subtle dig at Beyoncé and the system behind the scenes. Take a listen to what she said, because the subtext is screaming.
So the reason why Sinners resonated with me so much is because it's something that you see every day, and no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how talented you are, sometimes that's not enough to get you places that you need to be. And that's why Sinners, like, I was crying right after, because I feel like anyone in the industry could really resonate with it.
Well, Khloe never actually mentioned Beyonce by name, but everybody knew exactly who she was referring to. She didn't need to say it outright, because whenever people start talking about how dark or twisted the industry can be, Beyonce's name is usually at the top of that list that comes up. But for years, there have been rumors about Beyonce and Jay-Z, with people claiming they made certain sacrifices to reach the top. See, some see it as a conspiracy, and others swear it's the real deal. But their names always come up when it starts to talk about Illuminati or entertainment elite doing shady stuff behind closed doors. So when Khloe went live saying she refused to sell her soul, nobody needed her to say names. Fans connected those dots instantly. Now, Halle's name is starting to come up in that conversation too, and not in a flattering way. Many fans think she might have taken the route that Khloe refused to, actually doing what Khloe wouldn't. Word in the streets is that Halle was allegedly willing to play ball, and that's what people believe led to the quiet split of Khloe and Halle. And it wasn't just a casual choice to pursue solo careers, but a deeper divide based on what each sister was willing to do to get ahead in the industry. And here's where it starts to get even more suspicious. Since going solo, Halle's career has taken off. Big movies, major red carpets, a breakthrough role in The Little Mermaid, and even a solo Grammy nom. But she's always booked, and last we heard, she's off filming in Italy, living the high life. But it gets even messier, because word in the streets is that Halle's relationship with DDG was all a part of her contract with Parkwood. You know, the one where she allegedly sold her soul to fame and fortune. So y'all know how people have been saying that DDG used Halle for a come-up, right? Well, it turns out the reverse was the case. Allegedly, the machine behind Halle knew that DDG had enough social media clout to push Halle to become mainstream. And it worked. According to rumors, when DDG found out about how he was being used, he dumped Halle. Y'all know what happened in that chaos too. You can check the latest videos. But long story short, if Halle was sold out, then it's been working for her so far, and Khloe, on the other hand, is a completely different story. Even with all her talent, her rollout has been rocky. The album just didn't land, the singles just didn't perform, and people are starting to notice a pattern. She's putting in the work, but the industry just isn't giving it back. It's a mess, and honestly, it's impressive that Khloe has stayed quiet that long. At this point, it feels less and less like bad luck and more like a clear pattern. She's got the talent, the look, the drive, but somehow nothing is clicking. Now that she's quietly speaking out, it's obvious that she knows exactly why. Meanwhile, Halle's career is thriving. She's always booked, getting praise, and clearly protected, and fans are starting to wonder if it's because she was willing to do what Khloe wouldn't. Maybe that's why their connection doesn't feel the same anymore. Maybe that's why Khloe always seems like she's fighting to be seen while Halle gets the spotlight handed to her. At the end of the day though, the day go end, and Khloe barely just tore the lid off of an industry most of us only see from the outside, and what she revealed is definitely shocking. Secret contracts, blocked opportunities, and a system that rewards playing the game over raw talent? Khloe laid it all out. Meanwhile, Halle's career was on fire, but the whispers suggest it came at a price that Khloe refused to pay. Now fans are staring at a stark reality. One sister forced to fight for every opportunity, tooth and nail, and the other seemingly handed the spotlight. And Khloe isn't just talking anymore, she's exposing the harsh truth behind the glitter and the glam, and it's clear she knows exactly why her rise stalled. But the tea is scorching, the stakes are higher than ever, and Khloe speaking out might just be why everybody's rethinking Beyonce's empire and what it really costs to survive and shine in it.